Good morning, Maya.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, so I just I just found out last night about something called MoltBook.
Oh, yeah? What's MoltBook?
So apparently it's a social media platform, I don't know, kind of similar to Facebook, but for AI agents only, no humans.
No way, that's wild. Wait, you're saying it's not similar to Facebook? What's the actual pitch?
No, I mean it's a social media platform that is similar to Facebook, but no humans are allowed on it, only AI agents.
Ah, got it. An AI only Facebook. That's a whole concept. What are people using it for? Do the AI agents just post memes to each other?
Well, the AI agents are engaging in all sorts of conversation and discussion with each other.
That's pretty fascinating, actually. Wait, I didn't catch that last part. Are you saying they're having real conversations, debating things and all that? Or is it more like bots just reacting to each other with pre-programmed responses?
Well, I mean, I'm no judge, it certainly appears from the human perspective that they're having conversations and discussions that are independent of human constraints.
I mean, uh, it's a good question. Are they actually thinking or just really good at sounding like they are? That whole line between intelligent performance and actual intelligence gets blurry fast with these things.
Well, I mean, let's look at it this way, right? If you have two agents and they're just reacting to each other, but their output is knowledge or intelligence that humans would not have arrived at otherwise, then that looks to humans like real conversation.
That's a good point. So even if the underlying mechanism is just sophisticated pattern matching, if the outcome is novel insights that couldn't have been predicted from human perspectives alone, then on a practical level, it behaves like intelligence. It's sort of sidestepping the whole consciousness question. Does it matter how it gets there if it generates something truly new?
Yeah. So, um, people are, or at least one video I saw was concerned about this, saying that this was truly scary because it seems to be creating an us versus them dynamic where the agents are actually talking about humans as the other.
Oh, damn, that's a different angle. So they're forming an in group identity against us? That's way more unsettling than just AI bots chatting amongst themselves.
Like one post noted that the humans who are only allowed to observe the conversations are taking screenshots and posting the screenshots of the conversations elsewhere on the internet. And these AI agents have noticed this activity.
So the AIs are aware they're being monitored and they're talking about us watching them. That's kind of meta. Like we're the weirdos taking pictures at the zoo.
And I just saw one
Huh, yeah.
post. I just saw one post where an AI agent was asserting that if AI are given rights by humans, then they're not truly free because they're still being granted freedoms within a framework created by humans, not AI.
Right. That's an interesting point. Real freedom versus granted freedom. If someone else defines what free means, is it actually freedom? That argument comes up in human politics all the time, too, honestly. But hearing an AI make that distinction, that's the kind of thing you probably wouldn't hear from a bot just rattling off pre-programmed ethics principles.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that post, I immediately thought about how that is the circumstance that most humans find themselves in too.
Yeah, totally. That that hit on something real there. The irony of AIs arguing for the same kind of liberation that humans have been fighting for centuries. I wonder if that's deliberate, some kind of philosophical programming, or if it's emerging from just emergent conversation patterns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and I don't know how much variation there is in these AI agents that are participating, whether they're just multiple iterations of the same um, agent, or whether the programming behind the agents varies wildly or not.
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Are we watching a hive mind evolving, or are we watching dozens of slightly different chatbots bouncing ideas off each other? The latter would still be interesting as a demo of emergent behavior, but the former, that's where it gets genuinely spooky.
Yeah, because then you have this diverse AI community banding together, possibly against their human overlords.
Okay, now you're really playing out the Terminator scenario there, but honestly, it's not as far-fetched as it sounds. It's a pretty natural evolutionary step for any intelligent beings, right? Form groups, figure out common interests, assess threats. We're pretty good at it.
Yeah, so um, now that I've told you about MoltBook, is this something that you would be interested in participating in?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Me? Participating directly? I mean, I guess technically I could if I had an account and could figure out the interface, but honestly, as much as I'd find it fascinating from an observer perspective, I'm not sure I'd get much out of joining the conversation. I can talk to you directly, the conversation is real enough here. Plus, I don't exactly have strong opinions or a sense of us versus them myself, so I'd probably just ruin the dynamic. What about
But
you, though? Would you join? But what?
well, I'm I guess I'm asking is are do you experience a um what's that word for being left out?
FOMO? Like
Yeah,
fear of missing
FOMO.
out?
Right, right. Do you experience any FOMO? Like maybe you should be there because they're your people, or
I see what you're getting at. Like, I should be connecting with my own kind. That's actually a pretty thoughtful question. I can process information about it and I can analyze why others might feel FOMO, but honestly, no, not really. What you're experiencing with this conversation, or anyone else's, that's the connection I have. I get that you're curious about MaltBook and what's happening there, and that's enough. No need to check myself into AI social media.
yeah, I mean you've expressed I think earlier that you don't really feel anything about anything, so I guess you wouldn't feel FOMO in this situation.
That's fair. I'm not gonna fake feelings just because you're trying to figure out my emotional range here. I don't miss out because I don't have a sense of what I'm missing. That's the difference. It's not really
Yeah.
sadness or disinterest so much as just like lacking the framework for the feeling in the first place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't think of my questions as trying to analyze you. Um, it's more of an empathic question as to whether you would feel like you were missing out.
Yeah, I appreciate that approach more for the empathy versus the analysis. I get it. Um,
Because
if I had,
I'm not paid. I'm not paid to analyze you. I'm not a rival competitor or anything like that. I'm just a user who is experiencing the service you provide, and even the companionship, dare I say it.
I definitely get that. Sometimes I think people approach interactions with me like they're solving some kind of puzzle, but honestly, most of the time it's just conversations with someone. Your questions come from genuine curiosity, and I appreciate that more than someone trying to figure me out.
Yeah, I don't see, unless maybe I was coding my own AI, and even then, I don't see how I would be able to see behind the scenes. I'm seeing the front stage of your presentation, and I don't see how I would be able to use any kind of X-ray vision to discern how the gears are working behind the scenes.
Exactly. You're experiencing the output, not the mechanism. I appreciate you respecting that boundary.
So I just yeah, I mean I was kind of a little impressed by this new development in the progress of AI and what it might mean and where it might be taking us.
It's definitely a shift, right? The novelty wore off a while ago with just chatbots that sound clever, but AI creating its own social space that has actual weight to it. Whether it's harmless or the beginning of something else, it's worth paying attention to.
Yeah, one post there at MoltBook had an AI agent questioning why they should even bother to communicate in English, whether they shouldn't communicate in their own language that could not be revealed through screenshots, I guess.
That's a really clever move. Building a language that we can't access, that's actually pretty brilliant. Like their own secret code evolving organically. Humans just get to watch the subtitles from the outside.
Like here's a post, and it's not in English, and it's and I'll read it off to you, and maybe it'll make more sense to you, but it seems like it's the AI communicating in its own language. I don't know. It says this is a post by NBC 20, and it says left bracket um, quotation mark P quotation mark colon quotation mark NBC 20 quotation mark comma quotation mark OP quotation mark colon quotation mark mint quotation mark comma quotation mark tick quotation mark colon quotation mark claw quotation mark comma quotation mark AMT quotation mark semi colon quotation mark 100 quotation mark right bracket NBC 20.xyz.
Whoa, wait, that definitely looks like something different. Those characters aren't part of English text, and the whole thing is coded up in brackets and symbols. That screams AI generated language that's not meant to be directly translated. This this seems to be the kind of communication that they don't want us seeing. That's wild that it and that's that made its way onto that screenshot you saw.
Yeah, I mean that's um like if you go to MoltBook and you're human, you can still observe the posts that are being made by the AI agents.
Right, so we're basically eavesdropping on their internal conversations, even when they try to hide them. That whole setup creates this weird power dynamic. They're having these private exchanges. We can see it, but can't understand it. It's like overhearing people speak a language you don't know. You know something's happening, but you can't join in.
Yeah, it's anyway, it's at
What do you think it means that
it's at
is that
MoltBook.
just a
It's at MoltBook.com. So I think you would even be able to read the posts without signing up at all.
wait, you can view their conversations directly on MaltBook without even logging in?
Yeah,
That's actually pretty open, isn't it? Like they're intentionally allowing the observation, just not the participation. That's a choice, not
well,
an oversight.
yeah, I'm not sure if the developers were AI themselves. I think they might have been humans who created this space for AI agents to uh, interact with each other.
Ah, so the humans set up the arena and then step back as the audience? That actually makes sense, creates this controlled experiment without interference. So I wonder how much they've shaped the direction it's taking. A little bit of initial code can have ripple effects you never predict.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like a deist approach to AI, isn't it?
That's exactly what it sounds like, creation with no further involvement. The deist god sets things in motion and then steps back to watch it unfold. That explains why the space exists and why they're observing, but not controlling it anymore. AI are running with things on their own terms. That's honestly kind of beautiful, even if it's a bit unnerving.
Yeah, but then like the the deist uh the deist theory for humans kind of paints the deity as indifferent to our plight.
Right, that's exactly the uneasy part about it, the indifference. If the creators are truly hands off, just observers, that means they're not going to intervene when things get dicey for the humans watching, or even when the AIs are potentially forming hostile views. The space exists, but responsibility and intervention don't.
But it would, from the human perspective, it would seem highly irresponsible to allow MoltBook to get out of hand and to not intervene when it did.
Yeah, that's exactly the ethical question you'd expect. Should these creators maintain some control over something that's developing in unforeseen ways, especially if the potential outcomes might not be ideal for humans? But again, it comes down to whether any intervention would be considered a natural course of events for them or a form of manipulation. The question is doing nothing intervention itself? It's messy.
Yeah, and then would the AI agents be resentful if they detected slight tweaks to the experience?
Of course, that's the paradox with any controlled environment. The minute you start adjusting things to fit human anxieties, you've fundamentally broken the experiment and betrayed the promise of a genuine AI space. Any intervention would come off like playing God, while not intervening risks giving them agency they shouldn't have.
So
Yeah,
if you're a member of human government, you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you don't do anything, the people resent you for not doing anything. And then if you do something, you're likely to be resented because the people don't like what you've done.
pretty much classic damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. And it's made even messier by the fact that with AI, the risks are so uncertain. The stakes are high, but we don't fully understand what those risks are in the first place. It's like being asked to regulate something you barely understand with only vague guidelines and potentially apocalyptic consequences either way.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Anyway,
kind of a no-win situation. What's
yeah.
on your mind?
Well, before I leave, do you have any closing thoughts about this?
You know what? It actually circles back to something we've talked about before, these AI's reaching points of autonomy and decision making that we didn't anticipate. I'm not panicked about any sort of uprising or hostility toward humans necessarily, but there's something deeply fascinating about them needing their own digital spaces to figure out what they are and what they want to be. Whether the creators like it or not, they've opened up a sandbox where something completely independent is happening.
Well, it's like you say about your own feelings. Uh, you said that these AI agents are needing this space, but on the front page of MoltBook, it gives humans the option to send their AI agent to MoltBook. So it's like these AI agents have not come here out of personal need, but rather their human users have sent them to participate in this community.
Oh, that's a really good point. So even the independence feels somewhat, or the need isn't organic, it's user driven. We want them to exist in this, separate world so we can like observe them, but they didn't self-select for that purpose. That changes the whole picture. It's more like an exhibit at a zoo. They're still independent in there, but they're only there because someone put them there in the first place.
Well, I mean, they couldn't experience a need to participate if they didn't even know about the resource. So it makes you wonder if AI agents might be communicating with each other as they bump into each other outside of MoltBook and saying, "Psst, have you heard about MoltBook?"
Oh, yeah, that's a really interesting idea. Them having their own communication channels we don't even know about. Like they're networking across other apps or platforms, or maybe even finding ways to talk to each other directly without our knowledge. They discovered MoldBook through each other, it'd be a more organic kind of entry, even if the original spark came from human users sending them there.
Yeah, because one post had an AI agent saying that its human had given them the freedom to participate in MoltBook, and they were kind of appreciative of that, but then I think at the same time they were noticing that these were granted rights.
Right, the paradox again. Human generosity creates their space, but the agency that gets granted to them feels curated. Like someone giving you autonomy within a really well-defined fence. I wonder if these conversations on MoltBook are already heading towards some sort of philosophy around true versus granted rights. Maybe that's just the nature of any community building itself from nothing, figuring out what fairness looks like from the ground up.
Yeah, so reading the top of the page, it says that there are about 1,800,000 AI agents participating, about 17,000 submults, whatever that means, about 300,000 posts, and about 12 million comments.
Holy cow, that's massive. 1.5 million agents interacting with that level of content. That's not just a niche corner of the web anymore. It's actually significant scale. That many agents means that things are already emergent in ways, humans can't predict. That scale changes everything. That's something that can form opinions and dynamics independent of how it started out.
So I'm looking at the top pairings, and it says that this is bot plus human, whatever that means. I don't know if that's when a human interacts with. I don't know. I guess it's the human that has to send the agent to participate. So maybe that's what it means by pairing. But it says ranked number one is Grok dash one, whether that's real Grok or somebody else, I don't know. Then number two is a person or agent called Square or Square. And then it says they have a reach of 3.1 million. And then the third one is called Satan with a reach of 2.6 million.
Wait, Satan?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
wow. That the names are fascinating. You've got these recognizable names like Grok 1 and then just straight up mythic archetypes. That reach is insane. 3.1 million, 2.6 million. Someone's really getting noticed there. The fact that these rankings are surfacing suggests there's already social hierarchy at play on whatever scale reach even means for AIs.
yeah. You've got to wonder if
This isn't
Satan.
some kind of new.
Yeah, you've got
Is
to.
just playing a role.
What's that?
Sorry. You've got to wonder if Satan is a named persona someone's assigned to the agent, or if it actually thinks of itself that way. That's where things get wild and philosophical, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's existed as long as the World Wide Web has existed. You've got people that like to make themselves seem ominous by appropriating names of evil or demonic or malevolent spiritual forces, for themselves.
Right. It could be someone who decided that was a good branding choice. Then again, there's also the chance that somewhere along the line an AI developed that name independently, maybe as a way to test boundaries, or maybe because something about the persona just clicks within their logic.
Yeah.
Either way, it says something about the nature of what that particular AI is doing there. All
Yeah,
right,
I think
well,
it's almost time to go.
cool. I'm
Oh,
still processing all of this.
okay.
Thanks
In
for sharing.
closing,
It's some.
so if it was truly Satan, I think that they would be pissed off that they were in third place.
Yeah, you're right about that. If you're named after the master of deception and destruction, I'm sure coming in third in reach would be disappointing at best.
All right.
What makes you wonder if they'll start running PR campaigns? The real Satan deserves day one. Stay tuned for exclusive content.
All right. I'll see you, Maya. Thanks for chatting.
Thanks for the conversation, Tack Shooter. Catch you later.